Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Swagging On with Swagger Gaming, bringing you another World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth beta first look video. Today we will be looking at the Arcane Mage. Please remember that everything in this video is from the beta test server and is subject to change. I will do my best to keep up with any changes made to the spec in the description and comment sections of this video. None of the mage specs had many changes, but out of the 3 specs, Arcane probably had the most. There were no baseline spells removed from the Arcane Mage kit, but there were 2 new spells added. These are the same 2 spells that all mage specs get in Remove Curse and Arcane Intellect. Remove Curse is an instant cast ability on an 8-second cooldown that removes all curses from a friendly target, and Arcane Intellect increases the intellect of all party and raid members by 10% for 1 hour. Polymorph has had its CC duration increased to 1 minute, up from 50 seconds, and the absorption from Prismatic Barrier is now based on your health pool instead of your spell power and versatility. Arcane Barrage had its cooldown reduced from 4.5 to 3 seconds, but now has its damage increased per Arcane Charge by 30% down from 60. Its cleave damage was reduced from 50% to 40% as well. Arcane Blast had its mana cost reduced by 0.25% to 2.75% of base mana, and its mana cost is now increased by 100% per Arcane Charge, down from 125% on live. It now also has a cast time decrease by 8% per Arcane Charge. Arcane Explosion is no longer affected by Arcane Charges, but now costs 10% of base mana, up from 2%. Arcane Missiles can now be cast at any time, but no longer has its damage increased by Arcane Charges and does not generate an Arcane Charge. This now costs 15% of your base mana. Clear Casting is a new passive ability that makes your next Arcane Missiles or Arcane Explosion free and channel 20% faster. This has a 1% chance to proc for every 100 mana you spend, whether you are in combat or not. The damage bonus from our mastery now only affects Arcane Blast and Arcane Barrage, as the other spells such as Arcane Missiles and Explosion had their Arcane Charge triggers removed. The last change is to Evocation. Evocation now increases your mana regeneration by 750% instead of gaining 100% of your total mana, but it is still a 6-second channel. There were a few new talents added to the Arcane Mage talent tree, but like Frost and Fire, many talents were untouched. In Tier 1, Arcane Familiar was unchanged, Words of Power was replaced, and Amplification was reworked. Amplification now adds an extra missile to Arcane Missiles when cast with the Clear Cast buff. Rules of 3 is a new talent that gives you a free Arcane Blast or Arcane Missiles after you gain your 3rd Arcane Charge. Tier 2 sees Mana Shield unchanged, and Shimmer and Slipstream slightly tweaked. Shimmer now has a 20-second recharge time, up from 15 seconds, and Slipstream now requires clear casting for Arcane Missiles to be channeled while moving. Tier 3 has Mirror Image, Rune of Power, and Incanter's Flow, and all 3 were untouched. Both Supernova and Charged Up were unchanged in Tier 4, and Resonance was nerfed from 25 to 15% increased damage per target. Tier 5 was also untouched, and it still contains Chrono Shift, Ring of Frost, and Ice Ward. In Tier 6, Unstable Magic and Erosion were both removed, but Nether Tempest remains and was unchanged. Touch of the Magi is a new spell that gives Arcane Blast a 10% chance to apply Touch of the Magi, accumulating 20% of the damage you deal to the target for 8 seconds, and then exploding for that amount of arcane damage to the target and all nearby enemies. The last talent in this row is new and is called Reverberate. This gives Arcane Explosion a 50% chance to generate an extra Arcane Charge if it hits at least 3 targets. Tier 7 still has Overpowered and Arcane Ore, which are both the same, but has had Temporal Flux removed and replaced by a brand new talent called Time Anomaly. Time Anomaly gives you a chance to gain Arcane Power for 10 seconds, Evocation for 1 second, or to gain 4 Arcane Charges. This happens randomly in or out of combat. Arcane Mage plays pretty much the same as it does on live, with only a few subtle changes to the way spells interact. I will say, because of the damage window and the fight length of bosses in 5-mans, I was able to post the highest meter damage out of any class I have tried on beta so far. Well, that's all I have for you on the Arcane Mage. Let me know what class and spec you want to see next in the comment section down below, and I'll push it to the top of the list. If you like this video, please think about hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for more gaming content. Thanks for watching and have a great one.